Well, hello everybody, and welcome to a 1.19 opinion video. I haven't covered the last few snapshots. Didn't do one for 22W16A or 16B. Didn't do one for 22W17A. Didn't do one for 22W18A or 22W19A. Mainly because they were mostly under the hood adjustments and bug fixes. Just not that interesting. They did add a new music disc, they did add goat horns, but everything else has just been tweaks to how the Warden and the Allay work, lots of little adjustments, so I didn't feel like it was worth doing a whole video. And as it stands right now, we are at the second pre-release. Not sure how many pre-releases there's going to be. There still seems to be a lot of bug fixes happening, so we might see a few more of these. And, I mainly wanted to talk about my opinions. There's been a lot of controversy around this update. Some people not very happy with how it's gone. Some people kind of upset about what they thought they were promised or what they thought was going to happen. And I just want to address some of that. So one question I've heard getting tossed around is just, is the Wild update a good update? And I just want to kind of break that down a little bit. The controversy around this update really springs from a couple of things. The first thing is that some people say we didn't get all the things we were promised, specifically fireflies and updates to the birch forest. When they first showed off the frogs, they also showed off fireflies, and that's how we were going to breed frogs, is by using fireflies. Well, they discovered, kind of like the parrots and cookies situation, that fireflies actually aren't very good for frogs, and so they decided to use slime instead. The little baby slimes are how we breed frogs. I wish they would have added fireflies as just a particle. At night, I think that would have added a lot of atmosphere, and that would have been really cool. Maybe they still will. The other thing was they showed this picture during the announcement of the Wild update, and a lot of people took this as a feature that was going to be included. This was presented when they were talking about how they sort of develop the features that they want to include, and they never specifically said that there was going to be fungus on trees or fallen trees or anything like that. This was just concept art, and so I feel it was a little bit of a misstep to show too much of their hand, and I think, Mojang really likes the community to be part of the development process, and unfortunately, some of the community is just toxic and grumpy. And those folks kind of ruin it for everybody else, where they just get loud and angry rather than helpful or, giving valuable input. And that's kind of where we are with this. See, wouldn't the fireflies be nice right there? I think that'd just be so nice. The other big problem with this update is things like the Warden, Skulk. This was all introduced as part of the Caves and Cliffs update. So this was way back with 1.17. So we are, 2 updates later, finally getting some of those things. When they rolled out the Caves and Cliffs announcement, they talked about higher peaks and deeper caves and the deep dark and archaeology and skulk blocks, and we still haven't seen all those things. I think the problem has less to do with this specific update and more just to do with how Mojang handles development. I think they might be a little too transparent. I know they like community involvement and they like the input from the players, but I also feel like they just need to be a lot clearer with the player base and do what they say they're going to do. Now keep in mind, this is a game that was released over 10 years ago, and we have gotten dozens of updates that have all been free and well supported, and that is unheard of. There's so many lousy games out there that get released in a half-done state, and then they make you pay for all these additional updates and, even features that probably should have been part of the day one release. And Minecraft is not that. Minecraft is a really special thing, and I think we should appreciate that. So what are we getting in this update? Well, we're getting the deep dark biome. That'll be really fun for adventures, really spooky, really scary, and Skulk is going to change the redstone game. We're also getting ancient cities, which are amazing looking. Going to be a fantastic place to go on an adventure, find some cool loot, face the Warden. It's going to be really fun. And we're getting mangrove swamps, really different than the other swamps, and I think they add a lot of life and vibrancy and new features to the game. In addition to the new biomes, we're getting the chest in the boat. This is going to be a fun little addition and going to really change how we do some sorting and redstone stuff. We're getting the frog lights, and these are probably one of the coolest additions. A really fantastic light source, really usable textures, and will be really fun to build farms. We're getting a whole new wood type, Mangrove, really different than the other wood types, and I think that's going to be a nice addition to the game. Plus the root blocks add a cool new texture. We're getting mud blocks, and there's a couple of variations there, your packed mud and your mud bricks. I think that's going to open up a lot of options for building. Getting a new way to do trees. The propagules are kind of a neat and interesting idea. We've got this new item called an echo shard, which right now will make something called a recovery compass. Hopefully these shards will have additional uses in the future. We added a new record. We've got tadpoles, we've got goat horns, we've got frogs. We have the Allay, which I think is going to be pretty interesting for redstone power users and utilizing the features of this mob. For a lot of players, it's just going to be a trophy mob, something cool to track down. And then we've got the Warden, which I think is a really different bad guy. Not a lot to be gained from killing it, a lot to be gained from avoiding it. One of the most lethal mobs in the game. And then we have the Deep Dark and all of the different types of skulk blocks, which are going to be really fun for adventuring and incredible for redstone. So overall, I think it's actually a pretty good update. You know, we've got new biomes, we've got a new wood type, we've got new redstone mechanics, we've got new mobs. That's really all I ever ask for in an update is, you know, something to freshen it up and give me something new to try. And that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had fun. Please like and subscribe if you want to follow along on the adventure, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.